Hello, today we are going to study nanomaterials. So, in this particular chapter, we do have the syllabus like introduction to nanotechnology or nanomaterials, the size dependent properties of nanomaterials, size dependent properties like surface area, electrical properties, optical properties, catalytic properties, thermal properties, and synthesis of nanomaterials like top down approach and bottom approach. So top down approach and bottom up approach say include some of the methods like sol gel process, precipitation process, and chemical vapor deposition process. Afterwards would have say some of the nanoscale materials study like fullerenes, carbon nanotubes, and graphene. With this, the syllabus of this particular chapter will be concluded. Now, let us start with the introduction part of this nanomaterials. Nanomaterials, as soon as you hear the name nanomaterials, you will have the picture in your mind that these things are invisible for the say for your bare eyes, because these are very minute, they are very smaller say sized one. So in terms of nanometer, okay, so here the materials having less than 100 nanometer sized. So either in terms of length, width, and breadth, those materials which are possessing less than 100 nanometer size, they are called as nanomaterials. Okay, so the nanomaterials may be in the form of the particles, tubes, rods, or in the form of the fibers. The nanomaterials, they do possess different physico-chemical properties. They do possess different bulk properties. Okay, so we will be studying some of them under the size dependent properties, and nano sized particles exist in the nature also. Okay, so in the nature also nanoparticle sized nano sized particles exist, and in the nature a wonderful say nano textured surface I would like to tell you, my dear friends. This petal of lotus, the petal of lotus is having the texture of nano size, you know nano size materials, say what you can say, shells, or the composition of that is less than having 100 nanometer sized. Therefore if you just drop a water on it, it will not be, it will be immediately repelling. And even if some mud is poured on that, the mud is not at all going to be sticking on that. Okay, so that is a best example for the nanomaterial in the nature. And nanomaterials can be of metals, ceramics, polymers, as well as composite materials. And we can now just go for the study of classification of materials. So these nanomaterials are classified as uh, like zero dimensional, one dimensional, and then two dimensional, three-dimensional likewise. Here, what is the meaning of zero dimensional? Zero dimensional means which do not possess length, breadth and width. So they are obviously particles, nanoparticles. Okay, so here it is the discrimination. Zero dimensional materials having all the dimensions within the nanoscale. Within the nanoscale means less than 100 nanometer, and obviously no dimensions, zero dimension one. So these are nothing but nanoparticles. One dimensional nanoparticles means in this materials one of the dimensions is out of the nanoscale. I mean more than 100 nanometer. Either it may be length or it may be breadth. Okay. So the remaining one is remaining two are in the nanoscale. Okay. Suppose length, if it is out of nano, breadth and width will be within the nano, within the 100 nanometer. Okay. So these are called as nanorods. Nanorods. Width and breadth. Okay. So they fall well within 100 nanometer. Only the length, okay, length will be more out of say nano dimension, more than 100 nanometer. So these are nanotubes. Okay, these are nanotubes here. And then two-dimensional nanomaterials. Two-dimensional nanomaterials means two dimensions of the materials will be out of nano size or nanoscale. Okay, so they do exhibit more than say 100 nanometers, like nanofilms width and breadth are more than 100 nanometer, only thickness is less than 100 nanometer. So these are so these are the say here you are seeing. You are seeing here the films and layers, nanosheets having length and breadth more than 100 nanometer and thickness well within the 100 nanometers. So likewise, these are referred as two-dimensional nanomaterials. Three-dimensional nanomaterials means here there will not be you can't say that all the three dimensions are out of nanoscale, but instead nanoparticles are aggregated together and to form uh, uh, in such a way that the three dimensionals way. Okay, it will be they will be having possessing certain length, breadth and width, or else nanosheets are arranged one over the another in such a way that okay certain height is going to be produced, length is going to be produced, length and height will be there, but thickness is going to be produced more than 100 nanometer. Okay, so likewise three-dimensional nanomaterials are nothing but by making use of zero-dimensional, one-dimensional as well as two-dimensional, either the combination of any of these two, okay, will make us to produce three-dimensional nanomaterials. Okay, so then size dependent properties of nanomaterials. Okay, size dependent properties of nanomaterials, when you start study this you will wonder the nano sized materials as well as bulk materials, they do differ in their properties a lot. The physical properties regardless of the size, okay, uh, this bulk properties possess the same properties. But in the nano particles, small variation in the size also leads to the greater change in the properties. Okay, bulky materials. When you take small quantity, smaller sized, say iron or larger sized iron, okay, the properties, physico-chemical properties will remain same for that. But when you reach to nano size, nano gold particles, nano silver particles, 100 nanometer sized gold particle and 5 to 10 nanometer sized gold particles. Okay, so try to listen very carefully. 100 to 110 nanometer sized gold particles, 5 to 10 nanometer sized gold particles, though they are nanomaterials, but here due to the variation in their sizes, okay, 5 to 10 means almost they are 10 times lesser than the 100 nanometer 100 nanometer materials. Therefore, here change in the size leads to a drastic change in their properties also, right from melting point, conductivity, optical properties, etc., etc., etc. Why it is so? It is also very, the nanomaterials possess different properties for the reason that larger fraction of surface atom present to the bulk atoms. What I mean to tell you is fraction of surface atoms, okay, present in the nanomaterials is more compared to bulk atoms. And then the surface energy possessed by the nanomaterials is very, very high. And spatial confinement, nanomaterials, due to their small size, they can confine in a small space. They can accommodate more number of atoms can accommodate in a small space and reduced imperfections. Okay, so imperfections are drastically reduced. I would like to clearly explain you once again. Listen carefully. Okay, high surface energy means what? High surface energy means, as you just consider the case of chalk piece. You go on cut it down, you will get a smaller size, say smaller powder particle later. Okay, so the each of the particle possess more surface area right now. Okay, suppose if any uh, ink drop is there, fallen from the pen, if you have a small piece of chalk, okay, so you will roll the chalk over it. Even then ink drop will remain to some extent. Otherwise, if you powder the chalk, if you spread over it, all the ink will be absorbed by that particular chalk. Here, indirectly or without knowing yourself, you have made the particles to acquire more surface energy by crushing the chalk, and then you have exposed more surface of the chalk, and you made ink to come into contact with more surface area. Okay, so here you have came to the conclusion that as the size becomes lesser and lesser, surface area becomes more and more. Spatial confinement means within a small box, say around having 1 meter length and 1 meter breadth and 1 meter height. Okay, so if you just go on fill, okay, 1 liter of say 5 liter of air in a balloon and keep in the say box, okay, so then due to the size of the balloon, imagine that you will be able to keep around 50 to 60 balloons. Afterwards, if you are asked to fill only 2.5 liter of the air, okay, then the size of the balloon will be reduced to the half extent, okay, so then number of the balloons which can be accommodated within the box may become almost 100 in the number. When earlier you kept the balloons from one balloon to the another balloon, okay, so there 2 to 3 balloons where they do come into contact, between them there existed a small air gap. That air gap itself, if you consider that space will be reduced, you know that space will be reduced when the size of the balloon is going to be decreased, then more number of balloons will be accommodated, size of the space will be reduced, okay. Likewise, if you come to smaller and smaller sized balloons, more number of balloons can be accommodated, and the space remaining within the in between the balloons will be getting reduced and reduced, okay. So this is what spatial confinement, more confinement, orderliness will be there when the nano sized materials are going to be achieved, and reduced imperfections are going to be reduced, perfectly orderliness will be enhanced, okay. So next, one by one, here we are going to study surface area. As the size of the material reduces, surface to volume ratio increases. As a consequence, specific surface area, okay, it's a specific area. Also, specific surface area means surface area expressed in terms of meter square per unit weight, okay, itself is the specific surface area. The specific surface area of a nano-sized particles also increases multiple times compared to bulk-sized solid particles. As a result, its surface properties also changes. Nano-sized particles will have more edges and corners on the surface. It is very important. Nano-sized particles will possess more edges and corners on the surface. And then thermal properties. You see, bulk properties, they do possess almost all same physical properties, but nanomaterials, they do you know uh, differ in the physico-chemical properties as the size varies. I said it previously. Nanomaterials significantly lower the melting point or phase transition temperature, for the reason that a huge fraction of surface atoms in the total amount of atoms, okay, so atoms or molecules on a solid surface possess few nearest neighbors or coordination numbers, and number of bonds formed by each of the surface atoms is less than that formed by the atoms in the bulk. What I mean to say is, okay, the bondage between two molecules in the bulk material, okay, requires more energy compared to the bond existing between two nano sized particles. You know that between two atoms in the bulk materials, the bond might be of ionic in nature, covalent in nature, or metallic in nature, etc. Okay. Therefore, in order to break that bond, some of the thermal energy is needed. Then, okay, after that only the bonds will be broken and atom starts, melting. Okay, therefore, here the number of bonds needed to be broken per atom during melting is less in nanomaterial than in the macro material. Therefore, the number of bonds needed to be broken per atom is large due to large proportion of the atoms in the bulk. The below figure shows the effective particle size on the melting point. Effect of particle size on the melting point. Here this is, as the particle size goes on reduces, you are observing that melting point also, see, as the particle size reduces, melting point also reduces. Okay, so this is what, and it reaches here almost, it is not actually equal to 0. Okay, so this is mentioned very by mistakenly, it is mentioned as 0. Okay, it is somewhere well above the 0. The melting point 0 nanomaterial is not significant meaning, it doesn't possess significant meaning, it won't touch, curve won't touch here. Next, electrical properties. So in the case of bulk materials, the conduction of electron is due to the delocalization from one say location to the another location. So electrons can hop in all the dimensions in a conductor. Okay, the electrons are primarily scattered by various interactions with phonons, impurities, and interfaces. Okay, resembling a random walking process. Reduction in materials dimensions would have the following effects on electrical resistivity. So this process, when the size is going to be reduced drastically, okay, so the following effects might have been expected to arise in the materials. What are those? An increase in the crystal perfection or reduction of defects previously we have studied. Okay, so there will be more perfection or there will be more orderliness when the nano sized particles are going to be arranged well within the matrix. Okay, so it will be resulting in a reduction in the defect scattering and thus a reduction in the resistivity or increase in the electrical conductivity. So obviously when the defects are less, okay, then resistance is less, electrical conductivity will be more. Okay, so surface scattering plays a very important role in and uh, determining the total electrical resistivity of the nano-sized materials. So, when the scattering is totally inelastic or diffusive, the electron mean path is terminated by impinging on the surface. After the collision, electron trajectory is independent of the impingement direction and the subsequent scattering angle is random. Consequently, the scattered electron loses its velocity and the electrical conductivity decreases. I think you have understood how the scattering of electron is going to be the reason for, you know, the decrease in the electrical conductivity. Then optical properties. Here in the optical properties, a very strange thing you are going to study is that the optical emission and adsorption occurs when the transition of the electrons occurs between the valence bond and the conduction band. Semiconductors and many metals show large changes in the optical properties such as color as a function of particle particle size. For example, gold, you know, it is having the sphere, less than 20 nanometer. Then this gold nanoparticle exhibit a very sharp purple color. Then gold sphere within the range 10 to nanomaterial 20 nanomaterial exhibit red color, and gold particles having 2 to 5 nanometer exhibit yellow color. Okay, see here, this optical property means whenever the light interaction is there with the matter. Okay, so interaction as a reflection as a result of interaction of matter with the light, you will be seeing the variety of colors exhibited by different gold spheres with different nano size. Say more than 20 nanometer size exhibit purple color, and gold sphere in between 10 to 20 nanometer exhibit red color. Gold sphere of 2 to 5 nanometer exhibit yellow color. Then other properties which may be affected by reduced dimensionality include photocatalysis, photoconductivity, photoemission, and electroluminescence. And these catalytic properties are also very excellent, but we will not be studying these as a catalytic property are not in our syllabus. Let us, as the time is very short, let us concentrate on only our syllabus. Okay, so the next Solgel process of synthesis of materials, nanomaterials, we are going to study in our subsequent classes. Thank you for your patience listening. If you have any doubts, you please WhatsApp me, and get clarify your doubts.